What's going on, guys? Like the Dream Team, we're the Dream Group, and we're here to give you guys a little crash course on early modern Japan, also known as the Edo Period. No better time than the present, so let's get right to it. It spanned from 1608 to 1868. The city of Edo experienced a lot of cultural and economic expansion due to the actions and influence brought from the leading noble family of Japan at the time, the Tokugawa family, who had ruled for 200 years. That being said, Japan had a social hierarchy, where the shogun had more power than the emperor. Artwork had evolved into reflecting one's social status. As Japan began to move forward, samurais had to either give up their code or be forced to rebel and were cast as outlaws. Due to the mass economic expansion, Edo led on to become the most promising and flourishing city in Japan. A lot of business entered the city, and the population grew to 400,000. By the 1700s, the city had climbed to 1 million. During this time, Japan also feared westernization and Christian missions coming to convert its people, causing Japan to enact an isolationist policy and avoid all contact with other countries. Japan notably had some pleasure districts, where many art forms were born, such as artwork with ukiyo-e techniques and kabuki theater applied to commoners, both of which we'll discuss in a bit. Even the legend Matthew Perry came to Edo to sign a trading treaty with the US and Japan in 1858. Well, not really. This isn't the Matthew Perry we all know and love, just some guy named Lieutenant Matthew Perry. This, by the way, caused a civil war to erupt between the emperor and shogun. After 1868, when the last shogun surrendered against the emperor's imperial army in Yoshinobu, was the start of the Enlightenment era in Japan, with US involvement causing a spread in industrialization. This is when Edo changed into a metropolitan city. The emperor moved the capital from Kyoto to Edo and changed the city's name to Tokyo, or the capital of the East. Bearing that name in mind, it's no surprise that he then invested in the city to modernize it. From there, the city continued to grow and flourish. With that, we can zoom in on specific pieces from this period, for which typical art subject matter consisted of woodblock, kabuki, samurais, middle class, and shinhanga. During the 16th century, there was an emergence of a wealthy merchant class, with urban areas centered around industries such as the production of textiles. This created a demand for popular entertainment and mass-produced art such as woodblock prints and picture books. In the Edo period, a style of woodblock print called ukiyo-e, which meant pictures of floating world, became an important art. This was used to produce colorfully printed postcards, theater programs, news bulletins, and textbooks for only the wealthy to afford and decorate their homes with. Many Japanese artists showed their print through lines in space instead of shadows. Artist Kitagawa Utamaro made the women in her piece appear two-dimensional, creating the look of flattening space. As for the backdrop, some artists keep the background of their prints empty to display an absence of space and for the figures to stand out more. Japanese prints also like to focus the viewer's eye on vantage points. The main object, which are the two ladies, are appearing close up, and everything else, such as the instrument and the lady's dress, are shown above the figures. The usual main subjects for ukiyo-e pieces, other than female beauties, would typically feature kabuki actors and sumo wrestlers, as well as scenes of travel, history, or even folklore. In this period, Japan's art came in many different styles and variations, all the way from potten sculptors to woodblock painting, which is the image seen here by Kitagawa Utamaro, one of the most highly regarded designers of ukiyo-e woodblock works. This one shows you 3 women, which already screams I'm looking at a high-class piece of art and authenticity. Upon observation, you can notice that the values used in this work are almost all consistently light. The 3 female figures in this artwork are all wearing luxurious clothing, accumulating an air of high status, with some common accessories of a lavish life, like ottomans built for tea, and even decorative artwork on the wall behind them. Other than these, there were actual kabuki performances as well. Kabuki is a traditional Japanese drama with dance and singing. Ka meaning song, bu meaning dance, and ki meaning skill. Since the Edo period, kabuki has been the most important aspect of national pride in Japan. There is music, dancing, mime, costumes, and lots of drama. They have different types of masks, but they also have their faces painted. There is this one female dancer named Okuni. She was very popular in the 17th century. She was the first female entertainer, and many people loved her acting. But in 1629, they banned women from performing because they called women prostitutes. So young men had to dress up as women during that time. usually painting their faces white, having eyeliner and blush on their cheeks, on top of wearing dresses like the women of Japan did. These actors also were positioned in dramatic fashion to further emphasize the plot of the play. Drawing back from all these works, the human body serves as a depiction, whether that is a depiction of environment, social status, or a story. The subject could be wearing nice clothing to imply wealth, have makeup on to imply femininity, or be portrayed in a certain manner to add an element of emotion to enhance the plot. Every detail points to something.